Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen, Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, for what is going to be another jam-packed daily cryptocurrency market update. I'm wishing you all a happy Monday, and as always, if you are new to this channel and finding yourself on my videos for the first time today, don't forget to check out that subscribe button because we drop an update just like this one around 1 p.m. UK time every single day to help you guys stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the crypto space, but also the broader markets. That's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. We're going to be starting the video off with a clip of Christine Lagarde, the chief of the ECB, the European Central Bank, talking about Bitcoin, and she says something really interesting in regards to escaping. I'm going to be saving that for the clip, but that's where we're going to be starting. Then we're going to be diving over, looking at some continued ETF inflows. We already see some of the Bitcoin ETFs become the largest ETFs this year in terms of volume. Bitcoin is nothing short of a success. We all know what's happening with Bitcoin's price right now. It's currently consolidating around all-time highs, which is very healthy and normal once you take a key level of significance, being the all-time high, the previous all-time high of Bitcoin, that you consolidate and kind of retest what was previous resistance now as support. And I believe Bitcoin is doing exactly that. And we did on, I believe it was Friday, it could have been Saturday, actually play a video. We did a daily market update where we looked at MicroStrategy. You have seen an uncanny amount of volume come into MicroStrategy that hasn't previously been seen at a point when Bitcoin is around all-time highs. Now, this smells of institutions buying MicroStrategy because they're the only ones that have got that kind of volume. Why are they doing that if there was going to be any kind of a deep correction for Bitcoin and this was going to be sort of the end of the bull? We think we still have 70 to 8% of this bull market ahead of us, and that's an amazing opportunity. And MicroStrategy, I think, is something that is showing continuation in this broader uptrend. So we'll be flying by that. We're going to be looking at Bitwise's top 10 crypto index funds. Very interesting. Also very bullish on that. We're going to be talking about gold a little bit. Then we'll be looking at the macro and, of course, the Bitcoin chart. So we have a lot to get into. Let's start things off, as promised, with a clip of Christine Lagarde talking about Bitcoin and escaping. Very interesting what she says here.
It's a matter that needs to be agreed at a global level. Because, if there is an escape, that escape will be used. So, if there is an escape, that escape will be used. So I think it needs to be, if anything, it shows that global cooperation, multilateral action is absolutely needed, whether it's initiated by the G7, moved into the G20, and then enlarged, but it's something that needs to be addressed, and FATF is clearly an organization that has expanded in that respect.
It is still totally surreal to somebody like myself that has been in Bitcoin for as long as he has. First heard about it in 2012, then got serious as an investor in 2017. For the likes of the ECB chief, Christine Lagarde, to be even addressing it, we've moved and progressed a lot in the kind of crypto world, and actually Bitcoin is becoming a kind of standard asset. It's already started that with the ETFs. It's going to become even more so. But what she says about escaping is interesting, because escaping what? Well, escaping the great proliferation game. Inflation is a tax on everybody, and this is how they do things. They essentially proliferate the money supply, which makes you guys poorer, or the people that don't own assets poorer, which is the majority of people. I'm sure many people on this channel do. And by you guys, I also mean me included. This is the great game. They proliferate money. They inflate money without increasing wages to match that. And ultimately, it makes people poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer. And Bitcoin really is an escape. And that was the kind of context that she was actually addressing it in. We've essentially just filled in the blanks there. Let's talk a little bit about ETFs, because ETFs are now a massive part of the Bitcoin story. And they've been nothing short of a success. It's still mind-blowing to me that IBIT, which is BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin, took 2 weeks, or 2 months, sorry, to get to $10 billion, okay? Gold took 2 years. And actually, I think a Bitcoin could end up with a larger market cap than gold, because you can buy it globally, anywhere, and it's the exact same thing. And you can do it very easily on a mobile phone. Gold, a little bit more complex to buy, certainly when you're talking physical, and even if you're talking, shares and derivatives of it and things like that. But IBIT and FBTC, which is Fidelity's BTC, now both in the top 5 ETFs in the world, by the way, guys. So all the ETFs that are out there, all the stocks, everything, IBIT and Fidelity's Bitcoin. IBIT is 3rd largest ETF in the world in regards to year-to-date flows. Check out the assets difference in second column. Little babies hanging with giants. This is huge. I mean, this is just unbelievable to see the success that Bitcoin has been. And that's why the likes of MicroStrategy, which we're going to come on to in a second, which we've used to be bullish on the market, or a reason to be bullish on the market, has done as well as it had. This was a target we had for this in 2023. You can see that target got hit. You perfectly interacted, and now it's gone above and beyond. This volume is institutional. I can't believe more people aren't talking about this. Why are we seeing that kind of volume on MicroStrategy? I'll just quickly show you BITW, which is a top 10 crypto index fund. We still have a higher target for this, and this is likely going to go much higher, but we will see. Let's go to Bitcoin. Why are we seeing, and you know the plan for Bitcoin, or everybody should at this point, why are we seeing MicroStrategy volume? And MicroStrategy is a Bitcoin play, almost a higher beta Bitcoin play, interestingly, to that degree when Bitcoin is at all-time highs and you should expect resistance and a more sustained pullback, because you aren't going to get one. That's why. Everything is aligning. Global liquidity, the macro, the micro, the technicals. And ultimately, it's just about being positioned to benefit as a result of all this. So Bitcoin is, just pulling back slightly. However, it's only going to be slight. You know, there was some downside. This is typically a bearish pattern, but this is a bull market. This will likely correct itself, bottom out, set up some sort of continuation and push higher. It's very common when you go to an all-time high that you consolidate around it. And that's all you're doing here for Bitcoin right now. Why are we seeing that kind of volume on MicroStrategy if institutions thought it was going to be sustained? And you wouldn't see that kind of buying of MicroStrategy if it was game over here. You know, there's still a long way in this bull market to go. You need to be in the right altcoins. Lots of your sort of blue chip layer ones looking fantastic. We're going to be doing a video on Solana later on today. We've also got lots of videos on the likes of HBAR and others to come. But everything looks absolutely superb. Very much just continuation in the right direction. Talking about the more broader macro and everything aligning, we're actually seeing $1 billion in terms of inflows in gold. And this is one of the biggest days of inflows in a few years. So this is significant. You know, we are, just to show you gold and kind of correlate this to the cryptocurrency space, and this is part of what we do here at ALLIncrypto, is we take a 360 look at the market. We're very bullish on gold, which is at new all-time highs. We've been saying that since down here. This has a short-term target. It's got a bigger target, you know, depending on what pattern you want to derive from. And remember, Bitcoin is in an uptrend against gold. And actually, just to bring these charts into focus again, look at where you expect resistance, if that makes sense. Bitcoin was at resistance against the SPY. It was at resistance against the NASDAQ. And of course, gold. And it's played out. You know, technically, this is the footprints in the sand. This is going to get you ahead of your average investor understanding the charts technically. And we have only a limited number of spaces reopen the Patreon. So if you do want to join, guys, it's filling up very, very fast. And we are going to keep capping it at certain points and kind of moderating just how many people we allow in. We only, you know, there's certain people that I genuinely can't help because they need to want to help themselves and they need to be willing to learn. And I'm not just going to, you know, I really believe in teaching people to fish, not just giving them fish. We do a little bit of both, but on a quick side note there. So everything very much going in the right direction. The macro sort of landscape of things looks good. We are bearish on the dollar, which is the opposite side. I think dollar gained a bit of strength. This also coincided with Bitcoin and its kind of weakness. This will roll, in my opinion, certainly when you drop down to the daily time frames. You know, I think you're close to rolling. I think it's going to do a similar thing to what it did over here. But yeah, that is largely all we've got for you. Very quickly before I love and leave you, let's take a quick look at the week ahead because we are still a part of the macro markets. Today, not really anything of interest. Tomorrow, we've got the Bank of Japan rate decision. We've got the Reserve Bank of Australia rate decision. We've got the German ZEW index. We've got Canadian inflation data. Wednesday, we've got UK inflation rate. So that's going to be interesting. That's set to have pretty much stayed stagnant. And then you've got US FOMC rate decisions. So rates expected to be held. No real surprises there. Before I love and leave you, let's actually take a look at the Fed Watch tool because that's rather interesting. You know, remember, this is a macro liquidity story and liquidity is on the up and up. We think the Fed's going to step back in and we think the bond market's very much signaling that. If we take a look at the Fed Watch tool, you can see you aren't going to get a cut. Going into May, it's likely you're not going to get a cut, and the cuts are starting to sort of look more likely in the likes of June, July, but you'll know more on that tomorrow. Guys, that's really all I've got for you. It's just a case of following the plan with Bitcoin. Many altcoins are in this kind of sweet spot where they've just broken out and triggered patterns and are now consolidating and looking for further upside. along with Bitcoin. Remember, we are looking at dominances against Bitcoin. Some of these altcoins look fantastic. Others is still set to rise 20%. BTC or ETH BTC. ETH dominance, alt season, is still really to kick off. Some of our altcoins have done fantastic. Some a little bit lackluster and behind Bitcoin. But we still have that really good alt season ahead of us and the majority of this bull market to come. That's all I got for you on that note. Thanks a lot for watching. Apologies for no video yesterday, but we are trying to make up for lost time. Very busy day. We've touched some grass. And yeah, on that note, I'm going to love and leave you. I'll see you in this evening's video and, of course, in tomorrow's daily market update. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next one.